What's going on? Welcome back to another video of the Bop Boy Racing Garage. So, what do we have going on today, guys? I think it's been like, 7 or 8 days since I haven't posted. By the way, my shorts, thank you so much to everybody that has been subscribing, that has been subscribing thanks to the shorts. The shorts are doing great. And let me turn the camera around so I can show you guys what we got going on today. So, since the fuel system is officially done and all we have left is injectors, but that's something that we can always throw on like right before we need to turn on. What am I gonna do now? So the next step on the agenda is wiring the car. I was thinking about buying a wiring harness, but I don't know if you guys know this, but I already have a wiring harness. The problem is that the wiring harness that I got was used, and I noticed that the wiring harness was originally, it looks like it was an original rye wire harness. It's got the bulkhead connector, it was milspec, it was all tefzel wiring, but it looked like it was a regular swap harness. And then they ended up adding a boost controller. They ended up adding like you can see here, they added this on afterwards. Like the entire harness was tefzel wire, however you want to call it. Like you can see it right here. This is all tefzel wire, and then they ended up cutting it and instead of, it doesn't make sense. Anyways, this had a DTM connector from rye wire, and then it had the receiving DTM, and I don't know why they just completely didn't use that DTM and wired this directly to the ECU. Long story short, they did a lot of hack stuff. It was still a nice harness, but when I decided to take it all apart, and under the heat shrink, all the wiring, guys, was filled with oil. Not like to the point that it was dripping, but all the wiring, like even after me cleaning it, when you would touch the tefzel wiring, it still felt like slimy. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna make my own harness. The only thing that I'm gonna use out of this is the stock connectors. But I'm gonna be routing all new wires, all new grounds. I'll be ordering all new wiring. So basically all I'm gonna use from the wiring that I currently have is just the connectors and the bulkhead connectors from the firewall. So why do I have rope? I have this rope because I'll be using this as a mock-up. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna run this rope from the sensor, which is usually here. So what I'm gonna do is just put this right here. Basically, I'm gonna run each strand like if this was the actual wiring harness. See, like I have to run one to the water pump. I have to run one to the fan. The sensors, I'll show you right now. The sensors are gonna be running to this. I was going to put it right here, but that's not gonna work. So what I'm gonna end up doing is just putting that sensor block right here, and then I'm gonna have oil, coolant, fuel, and something else, pressure sensors right on the strut tower. So yeah, let's I'm gonna start routing some of the how do you call this? Rope, and I'll show you guys when I'm done. All right, so me and Joel, my son, that's over there, we got the T1 cam trigger mock-up rope ran. We got the ignition wires ran. We got the injectors wires ran. We got let me turn the camera on. So like I was saying, this is the T1 cam trigger setup or sensor ran. We got the injector wires. We got the ignition coils, and if you notice, they all join into one right here. Obviously, this is not how it's gonna look. This is just a main mock-up for everything. Then onto this same harness, we're gonna have another one that's gonna go into here, because this is where this sensor block is going to be placed. Now, I don't need this. Most people, they run all their sensors, like they'll put the coolant pressure sensor in here, they'll put the temperatures, like the temperature sensors are fine to do on here. But technically speaking, you're supposed to put your pressure sensors standing, up and down, like connector on top, and then the sending fluid goes through here. Why? Because if you have your sensor like this, placed sideways, once you turn off the car, there's always going to be fluid, like, let's say, methanol or oil or coolant. It's going to sit overnight or for days inside that sensor. So you always want to place your sensor up and down so that when you turn off your car, it drains out of the sensor. It's basically extending the life of your sensors. Another reason is because once I mount this up, it's going to have 2 rubber grommets to reduce vibration. Basically, remote mounting your sensors is just extending the life of your sensors. And if this engine blows up, which it's going to blow up, all my sensors are here. So I literally undo the hoses from the engine, and then I don't have to keep taking because sensors are 1/8 NPT. So me taking them on and off, it's gonna mess up the threads on the sensors. So I'd rather just leave it here. I'll send the sub harness directly to the sensors also. So it'll clean up real nice. Obviously I'm not done mocking up because I still have to do a wire for the map. What else? Another wire for the coolant temperature. Another wire for there's going to be another sensor to the boost. There's a bunch of wires that still need to be ran. But for today, we got a lot done. Like I said, ignition coils, T1 cam, injectors, fan. This is basically to the relays right here. This has nothing to do with the engine harness. So this is another sub harness that's going to have DT. I'm going to replace this connector with DTMs. So yeah. So this goes to the relays, fan, and water pump. So most people have a fuel relay and a fan relay because they don't have an electric water pump. But since I don't have an electric fuel pump, it's basically like I'm substituting the electric fuel pump with an electric water pump. So I still need that relay. So yeah, that's the progress for today, guys. Quick short video. I just want to upload something for you guys to notice. Obviously, once the harness is done and loomed up, this is going to have nice connectors. It's all going to go nicely tucked up like this. Nicely ran. Each one is going to have its individual. So basically from here, let's say this is the power wire, right? There's going to be one big power wire running all the way to the first one. And then off of that same wire, it's going to be splitting off power for 1, power for 2, power for 3, power for 4. So the power wire is literally one single wire that I could split at each connection, or I can split it right here and then grab 4 different wires for each thing. Now, I have the old KOP harness right here. So I'm going to take it apart to see how they did it. But it looks like they did what I told you guys. One main wire, one main power wire, and then the 4 signal wires. And then obviously a ground. Because these each have, I'm pretty sure it's 3 wires each. Yeah. So it's ground, power, and signal. Simple enough. So we're going to get that figured out. That is it for tonight, guys. I look tired. I need to shave. I need a haircut. That is it for tonight. Joel, come here. We're going to close out the video with Joel. Hurry up, man. So my son is officially back from Washington.
And now I gotta edit this video. Very tired.
We kind of look alike a little bit. What do you think?
I mean, I am your son.
So, yeah. What do we say at the end of the video?
Remember.
Like,
subscribe, and ring that bell.
and comment,
And comment.
and hit that like button.
Already said that.
I know. I just wanted to mess with you. So I always tell my followers at the end of the video,
Yeah.
I give them like a keyword, for me to know if they actually watched the video. So think of a keyword, car related.
Rotary.
There you go. So make sure you comment the word rotary at the end, so we can make sure we're gonna be watching them comments to see if you really watched it or not. So catch you guys in the next one.